Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a brand new live stream episode of The Nick Beasley Show. My podcast partner, my co host, RJK Forever, Rodney Knight is back. Football season is back, and you know what that means. A bunch more content and more live streams coming at you each and every week. In fact, Wednesday, I will be live with somebody on this channel Wednesday night. Can't wait for that. And I will be live for North Carolina versus TCU this Saturday at 12 o'clock Eastern. or 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock Eastern. I'll be live for that game. I want to see what Chapel Bill's got in store. But as you guys can read the title, we are predicting all 32 teams' records plus more. So let's get into our first topic, predicting every NFL team's win-loss record. As you guys can see, we have it pulled up here. So I will go through. I will start with the Arizona Cardinals. And let's just go ahead and, the Cardinals will lose week 1 to the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't see them winning this game. There's no reason for them to win this game. They lose that one. I think week 2, Seattle's going to get them. Week 3 to me is interesting because what does San Francisco look like as far as health? It doesn't matter. That's a loss for the Cardinals. Week 4, they go to New York. That's another loss for the Cardinals. Week 5, Detroit comes to town, and that's another loss for the loss for the Cardinals. Week 6, go to LA. You got to play the Rams, potentially with Aaron Donald. That's another loss for the Cardinals. Week 7 against the Broncos. That's another loss for the Cardinals. Week 8 against those Dallas Cowboys. And I know, Rodney, you're a big fan of the Dallas Cowboys, the Alice Cowboys, if you will. Because they put the ass in Dallas. But I mean, come on. They're gonna lose that game. Then you have week 9, Arizona versus Seattle in Seattle. Yeah, they're losing that one. Go ahead and give this one to the Rams as well. So they're 0-10. They go to Kansas City, they lose that game. They go to Washington, they're going to lose that game. They go to Philly, they're going to lose that game. Oh, but here we go. Here's a potential win. After the bye week, you have the New York Jets. Do we see the Cardinals get their first win of the year? Yes, we do. I do think the Cardinals beat the Jets. It'll be a home game for the Cardinals. It'll be off their bye week. And I absolutely think the Cardinals can beat the Jets. Then you have the Saints. I'm high on the Saints. I've got them losing that game. The Raiders, week 17. Could we be seeing Fernando Mendoza? Or would it still be the Kirko Chain show in Vegas? It doesn't matter because the Cardinals will lose that game anyway because the defense for the Raiders is better than the offense for the Cardinals. And then to chop it all off, I have the Arizona Cardinals finishing 1-16. Rodney, give me your thoughts. 1-16 for the Arizona Cardinals. Year 1 under Mike LaFleur, and possibly going to be seeing Carson Beck pretty quickly if this is the record we get.
I'm absolutely shocked. I don't think they're going to go 1-16. Now, obviously, in my opinion, I think they're going to be one of the few teams that will be in the running for the number 1 pick next year. There's 3 teams that I've said that will be in the running for the number 1 pick, and I think Arizona is one of them, but I don't think they're going to go 1-16. Now, do I agree that we may see Carson Beck this year in the starting position over Jacoby Brissett and over Gardner Minshew? Yes, I do. I think Carson Beck will get an opportunity to start this year. He did look impressive in the Hall of Fame game against the Panthers. He did look pretty good. And I think what will be the right time for him to come in? I would say probably between the weeks of 7 to 9. I think that could be the opportunity for Carson Beck to get his first shot in the regular season, to get some reps in, seeing if, depending on what happens at the end of the year, if they do get the number one pick, is it going to be him next year, or is it going to be one of the other quarterbacks coming out of the draft next year? Because don't forget, there's 4 to 5 sought out QBs that may be in the first round next year. So keep an eye out on that. But Arizona, personally, I would not give them 1-16. I'll give them 3-14, maybe 4-13, depending on if they get lucky in a couple of these games.
Yeah, well, like I said, look, I was close with the Saints. I was close to going Cardinals win, but I'm high on the Saints this year, and I know that the rookie standout wide receivers already gotten banged up. I understand that, but I'm high on Tyler Shuck. I love Chris Olave. I love Travis Etienne, who's now down there, and I think Kellen Moore is a hell of a football coach, and I like their defense a lot for New Orleans. So I do think the Saints will be a good team this year, but that is how we start this off with the Arizona Cardinals. And again, I have them going 1-16. So the next team, the team that Rodney will start off with, the Atlanta Falcons for the A-Town Down Boy, Atlanta's own Rodney Knight, picking the Atlanta Falcons. How did it work out that way? Picking the hometown team, even though it's not your team. Let's go through it, man. Tell me what you think.
Okay, so let's start off with Atlanta and Pittsburgh. So obviously, people know that this will be Aaron Rodgers' final year in the NFL. So depending on how things go, I don't know how the offense is going to look, depending on who wins the starting job, which may be Penix, but you still have, in my opinion, the best running back in the league with Bijan Robinson. Then you have a pretty solid offensive line as well. So in this game, I'm probably going to go with Atlanta because Aaron Rodgers, the arm is not the same as it used to be when he was in Green Bay. He's getting older. So I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be that good this year. So on the retirement tour. So I got Atlanta winning against Pittsburgh. Week 2 against Carolina. So Carolina won the division, the NFC South last year. So this year, Carolina might be up there again because I don't trust the Saints. And some people will disagree with me. Tampa might be looking down this year, in my opinion, strictly because of their defense. So I'm going to go for Atlanta against Carolina week 2. Now here's going to be Green Bay. Obviously, their best player, in my opinion, Michael Parsons, is going to be out for the first 6 to 7 weeks. So once again, I'm going for Atlanta. Week 4, those guys, the Saints.
Whoa!
Surprisingly, I'm going to go for the Saints this year for this game because Tyler Shuck, I think, is going to be good, depending on if he's healthy, if he does not suffer another concussion. Chris Olave, I think, will be a solid receiver. Is he better than Drake London? It's up in the air. Now, we could chalk up week 5. It's Baltimore. Yes, they got a new head coach, but it's Lamar Jackson. And I will never go against Lamar Jackson. So week 5, I got the Ravens. Week 6, now Caleb Williams is on the Madden cover, and we all know about the Madden curse. But it's Ben Johnson. You got the Chicago defense. This might be a tight game. I'm going with Chicago. So the Falcons are 3-3. They're 500 right now. Now they got San Francisco. So San Francisco obviously has all these injuries. George Kittle has been completely activated. So we don't know what George Kittle is going to do. Is he going to be 100% at this point? Maybe, maybe not. But I think Atlanta is going to be pissed off, losing 3 straight games. I'm going to give it to them. I'm going for the Falcons against the 49ers. And then against the Bucks, like I said, I think people are going to hate me because I don't think Tampa Bay is going to have a chance to win the division, especially for their defense and the disrespect that they show with Baker Mayfield. So I'm going for Atlanta this game. Then against Cincinnati, the defense is looking a lot better with Cincinnati. You still got Joe Burrow, who's in my if when he's healthy, a top 5 quarterback in the league. So will the defense be better than their defense? It's tough to see, but because we don't know Cincinnati's defense, I'm going for Atlanta this game. Then we go to the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's not the same Chiefs from 2 years ago. And if I'm not mistaken, a couple years, it was either last year or 2 years ago in Atlanta, we beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm going to do it again. Atlanta is going to win this game against the Chiefs. Now we got another team that has a high-powered offense, the Minnesota Vikings. Kyler Murray is the starter. You got Justin Jefferson. You got Jordan Addison. You also got T.J. Hawkinson as your tight end. Scary. That's a scary, scary offense. And you got Minnesota's defense, who was top 5 last year. So defensively, this is going to be a tough matchup. So I'm going for Minnesota that game. Then you got another NFC North opponent, the Detroit Lions. Now, they do have Isaiah Pacheco from the Chiefs. You still got Sonic, Jahmyr Gibbs, who, in my opinion, is the second best running back in the league. You still got Amon-Ra St. Brown. You still got Sam Laporta. You still got Jared Goff. The main topic for the Lions is obviously defense, defense, defense. So that's going to be the subject. But for this game, I'm going for Atlanta. I'm not going to take a lot of time with the Browns. Atlanta wins that game. I'm not going to take a lot of time for the Commanders. Atlanta wins. Same thing that I said with the Bucks. I'm going for the Falcons this game. Saints, they're going to be mad they lost to the Saints. Another win for the Falcons. And then the final game against Carolina, I got them winning this game.
Wow. Wow. So for the Falcons, you have 13-4 in year one under Kevin Stefanski, with possibly Tua Tagovailoa as your starting quarterback.
But here's the thing. I don't think Tua is going to start. I think it's going to be Michael Penix, especially for what I saw in the game against Denver. Tua is not the guy. And I'm pretty sure they're probably going to try to bring somebody in, maybe from the practice squad, maybe a free agent. Tua is not the guy. If Penix can stay healthy and can get better, Penix is the guy. You still got Bijan. You still got Drake London. You have a solid offensive line. The defense is pretty solid as well. I just don't see any other team in the NFC South that has a chance to win the division beside the Panthers.
You have them sweeping the Panthers, sweeping Tampa, and splitting with New Orleans. You also have them beating Kansas City with possibly a healthy Patrick Mahomes and possibly Tyreek Hill, because he may be on a team by then, and it probably will be Kansas City. You also have them beating possibly... You have them beating Kyler Murray. Or no, I'm sorry. You have them losing to Kyler Murray. You have them beating Detroit with that defense that will be healthy by then. Hey, but you know what? That's your prediction. That is your schedule prediction. You didn't argue with mine for the Cardinals. I mean, you made some changes. I would make some changes here. I think they lose at least one game to Tampa. I think the game in Tampa, they probably lose that game.
Yeah. I
think they lose to the Packers because I don't know that their defense is going to be able to stop the offense of the Packers. I can actually see them beating Chicago because it's in Atlanta. Like, you started off with 3 straight wins, then 3 straight losses, then you rattled off 4 straight wins, then a loss, then a win, then you finished it out with them winning out and going 13-4. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I was like, okay, that's interesting. But hey, that's what we do here. And this will definitely get some views. In fact, I may make this the TikTok clip that I post. So it runs at 13-4. But let's get into the next team, to the next pick 'em. I will be up next to pick, oh boy, the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, do my boy Lamar Jackson right. This is Lamar Jackson.
Ooh. Ah, man. You know what, though? Here's the thing. That's a tough game to start out. On the road, week 1 at Indianapolis. Here's the thing, though. I don't think that Daniel Jones is going to be fully healthy. I don't know if Alec Pierce is going to be on the field. They just signed Keenan Allen. I don't think he'll be enough. I'll take Baltimore to beat the Colts in Indianapolis, even though I hate that, because I love Daniel Jones and I love the Colts offense. Week 2, yeah. I'm high on the Saints, but I ain't that high on them. They're not beating Baltimore in Baltimore. Now, week 3 is interesting because they go to Dallas. So they go to Jerry's World on the road. Brand new head coach and Jesse Minter. Second-year coach and Brian Schottenheimer. A top 5 offense in Dallas with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott and Jake Ferguson in that run game. And possibly a revamped top 10 defense in Dallas with all the pieces they brought in, including Caleb Downs, who I think is the best player in this draft class that got drafted this year. I think he's a gold jacket walking. I really do. I'm going to go with Dallas to beat Baltimore in Dallas. Now, come on. They're going to beat Tennessee. They'll beat Atlanta. Yeah, sure, okay. They'll beat the Browns. Now, week 7, here's where it depends on it for me. Week 7, is Joe Burrow still the quarterback for the Bengals come week 7? Because if he's still quarterback, I can see the Bengals going into Baltimore and winning that game. But I saw that Lions-Bengals game when Joe Burrow got murdered. I don't trust that offensive line. I love Jamar Chase. I love T. Higgins. I like what they did on defense, bringing in Dexter Lawrence. But it's in Baltimore. I got Baltimore winning that game. Now, here we go. Week 8, my boy Josh Allen, okay, versus your guy Lamar Jackson. We may have to stream this game. I'm sure it'll be a primetime game. We may have to stream this game together and watch it together. I mean,
probably.
My boy Josh, MVP Josh, by the way. I mean, it's in the Bills' new stadium. It's in Buffalo. But here's my question. Is Joe Brady a good head coach? We know he's a good OC. Is he a good head coach? I love you, Josh, but I don't think he's good enough for you guys to beat Baltimore in Buffalo. And then we can just, that's a win. Minter hosting his old teammate or his old coaching buddy and Jim Harbaugh against that Mike McDaniels offense that I'm going to miss so much in Miami. You know, we didn't win a lot with McDaniels, but hell, at least the games were entertaining to watch. He either said something stupid or our offense was electric. So I'm going to be locked in on the Chargers a lot this year. I love Justin Herbert. I think experience wins here. I do think the Chargers can beat Baltimore in Baltimore because Jim Harbaugh is more experienced and McDaniel's going to have that offense humming. I am worried about the Chargers offensive line, but I think they'll be fine. I take the Chargers to beat the Ravens week 10. This is going to be a win. I think week 12 is a make or break game for CJ Stroud. I think depending on how he performs in week 12 will solely make the decision on do they re-sign him or do they cut him or let his contract run out. I think Baltimore wins in Houston. I love Baker. I love the Bucks, but Baltimore wins that game. Aaron Rodgers, last year, they've got Pittman, they got DK, they got Freiermuth, but it's Baltimore's division. This is just... Now, I do think the Bengals win here, week 17, at home, so they split with the Bengals. And then I think going into that last week, Baltimore's got the division locked up. They're 13-3. They don't really need the win, but they get it anyway. I've got Baltimore finishing at 14-3 for the season. And I've got Lamar Jackson winning his third NFL MVP. And I've got Jesse Minter winning Coach of the Year. I
really ain't got much to say.
Lamar's in a contract here, by the way, so he wants a new contract. They haven't given it to him yet.
I really ain't got much to say on this one. I think realistically, 14 may be a little bit too high, but I definitely see them winning more than 11.
Yeah. I look at the schedule. There's not a lot of games for them to lose. Maybe they lose in Houston because of that defense. But again, can CJ Stroud, not turn the football over?
Can the offensive line protect him as well?
Right. And then with the Bengals, I think they split because week 17 is going to be in Cincinnati. And with the Cowboys, it's in Dallas. Like, if it was in Baltimore, I'd probably pick Baltimore. But it's in Dallas. And I think they have a top 10 defense and a top 3 offense. So, I think 14-3. So, let's get into this next team. Oh, no. I was nice. Remember that. I was very nice. Okay?
No. No, I'm not going to hate. As much as I don't like Josh Allen, I respect his game. So, first game, this is going to be tough. You got the Houston young defense. This is a top 5 defense in the league with those young guys.
Buffalo does not win a lot in Houston.
So, I am going to, because of the defense, strictly because of the defense, I'm going for Houston in this game. Strictly for the defense.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then Detroit, once again, the defense. Just as the saying goes, defense wins championships. I think Detroit's defense is better than Buffalo's defense. I mean, yes, it's going to be the first game at Buffalo's new stadium. I'm going for Detroit this game.
Okay.
Strictly for the defense. But we're going to bounce back and beat the Chargers. Forget Mike McDaniel. It's Justin Herbert. Like, come on. I'm not high on Justin Herbert. Patriots. Now, this is their toughest test probably this season because this is the AFC champs from the previous year and their division rival. And this is going to be those two teams, they're going to be neck and neck for the AFC East. So I got Buffalo in this game, actually.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about that game. You already know my opinion.
Yeah.
And then Vegas,
Dude.
I don't know if Mendoza is going to play. Now, if Mendoza plays, he might dice up Buffalo. I don't know. And you still got Ashton Jeanty. And then you got one of the best tight ends. Okay, who am I kidding? It's Buffalo.
By the way, Ashton Jeanty's hurt. He got hurt today, so I don't know if they're going to have him or not.
Now, just like you said with Baltimore, yes, it's going to be at the new stadium, but it's Baltimore, and I don't trust Buffalo's defense, so I got Baltimore in this game. Then going up against Minnesota, I'm gonna say Buffalo wins that game.
Buffalo does win against Minnesota.
Yes,
Okay.
we don't need to talk about that one next.
Yeah.
Now, next,
Do it. Do it. Do it, because I'm gonna do it. Just do it.
man, next Buffalo wins. Like, come on. Uh,
Now, week
now,
12 in Buffalo.
now the Chiefs. They've been their biggest rivals for these past 3-4 years. They met in the playoffs multiple times. Josh Allen in the snow did beat the Chiefs. I don't know if it's going to snow this time though. But I don't know how the defense is going to look for the Chiefs, especially when they traded Trent McDuffie. So I don't know. I'm going for Buffalo that game. Now, I think for the Patriots, I think they're going to split it. I think they're going to split with the Patriots. So I'm going to go Patriots that game at Gillette Stadium. Then at Lambeau Field. I mean, someone will say, "Oh, they're going to Green Bay. It's cold." Buffalo, they play in Buffalo, New York. You can't use that excuse. Micah Parsons may be back. Is he going to be 100% though? I don't think so. So I'm going to go for Buffalo. Then Chicago at Buffalo. I got Buffalo again. Now we get into the true test.
Whoa. You better be careful, because these are my two guys.
Because this game might determine who's going to be the number 2 seed and will host a playoff game. Because I got Baltimore if you got Baltimore winning number 1, being the number 1 seed at 14-3, we gotta have a number 2 seed. And this game might be who determines who's going to get the number 2 seed and will host a playoff game. So it's going to be neck and neck. Denver did beat the Bills in the playoffs the divisional round. They did.
They did. And then Bo Nix broke his ankle.
But Bo Nix will be healthy going into this game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think it's going to be deja vu all over again. You got a top 3 defense in the league. You got Bo Nix, who's one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. Denver once again. And then we'll need to talk about these last 2 games.
You know what? I'll say this. 11-6 for year 1 for Joe Brady. Good record. You're in the playoffs. You're going to win the division, I think, because I don't see the Patriots winning the division.
They got lucky. They had an easy schedule last year, so I don't think they're going to win the division.
So if you're Buffalo, you win the division, you get to host a playoff game, and maybe this time you actually make a run because maybe the Chiefs aren't as good as they've been in years past. Maybe Baltimore and Denver cancel each other out somehow. And look, I'm cool with you having Denver beat Buffalo because that game realistically ruined 2 of my Super Bowl dreams, which is either Buffalo versus Seattle or Denver versus Seattle. And that game literally ruined both chances because Buffalo lost and Bo Nix broke his ankle and Jarrett Stidham forgot how to play football for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to watch Seattle versus New England, which was okay because Seattle murdered New England. Yep. See, I'm a Dolphins fan, but I hate the Patriots because of Tom Brady. I don't hate the Buffalo Bills because I like Josh Allen. I hate Tom Brady, so I hate the Patriots. All right, so let's get into the next game. Who will I be? Oh, God, no. Bryce. My boy.
Alabama. Yep. Alabama.
Okay.
Heisman Trophy. Trophy.
Yep. Okay. Let's get into it. Week 1, Chicago comes to town against the Panthers. I've got Chicago. Now, week 2. Now, Rodney, I know you picked Atlanta. because you're high on Atlanta. I'm going to go with Carolina in Atlanta because, and I'll tell you why. I trust Bryce Young more than I trust either one of the quarterbacks currently slated for starting spot in Atlanta. Now, week 3, let's just chalk that up. Week 4, they're going to lose that game to the Lions. Now, week 6, Philadelphia, yeah, chalk that up. I do think they lose here to the Buccaneers. I think they lose to the Packers. They're going to lose to the Broncos. Now, I'm high on the Saints, but we're kind of in a tailspin here. We're 2-6. We got to find a way. I think in New Orleans, Carolina finds a way to win that game. And then they're just going to, chalk that up. I do think that they beat Tampa here on the road. I think the Vikings beat them here. So now 4-8. Kind of got to go on a run here to have a shot at the division. I think the Saints get them here as revenge in week 14. I think the Bengals get them in week 15. Pittsburgh gets them here in week 16. Seattle's going to take them down. And then I think they actually sweep the Falcons. I think they go 5-12.
That's actually surprising as heck. I totally disagree. I think Bryce Young is going to get better, and especially if I'm not mistaken, this is a contract year for him.
I do too. My problem is similar to the Patriots. They played an easy schedule last year and won the division with 9 games. That's a first place schedule that they're playing.
I got them winning at least 7 or 8. 7 or 8. 7 or 8.
Maybe they can sweep the Saints and maybe get lucky against the Steelers. Maybe like maybe they're out of it by then and Rodgers is tired of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got him going 5-12. So yeah. Let's get into the next team. Oh boy, the Chicago Bears. Rodney, Caleb Williams, the Madden cover. Is it going to be a Madden curse, or are the Bears going to find a way to repeat what they did last year, which was win the division?
Will they be a good team this year? Yes. Will they win the division? It depends because you got Detroit. So I'm a breeze quickly because I do think Chicago is going to make it back to the playoffs. Okay. So I got them beating Carolina.
Yep.
The defense, like I said, for Minnesota. And you got Brian Flores as the defensive coordinator. So I got Minnesota strictly for the defense.
Okay.
Now, Philly. I don't like you guys, so I got Chicago winning. Next, Green Bay. At Green Bay, I'm going for Chicago again. Now, like I said, against the Falcons, I got the Falcons winning this game. And then I got them actually, because I don't know, it's literally up in the air for New England. Obviously, I know Drake May is pretty good, but I got Chicago this game. Then we got the reigning Super Bowl champs at Seattle. I got Seattle winning that game. Then I got them beating Tampa, beating the Saints. And then they might lose this game at Ford Field against the Lions. And then I got them winning the next 2 games after losing to the Lions. Then Buffalo. I already said Buffalo's going to win that game. Now, I think they will split with the Packers. I think that might be the team. And then once again, I think they're going to split with the Lions. And then the final game against Minnesota, at Minnesota, I got them beating Minnesota.
Okay, so 11-6, not a bad record at all. I don't think they win the division with that, but not a bad record at all. Definitely a playoff team.
Yeah.
So you don't think the Madden curse affects Caleb in any way, huh?
Not too bad because you still got Ben Johnson, and he was close last year. But I truly think that this will be the year that we will see the first quarterback in Chicago Bears history to throw for 4,000 yards.
Okay. Again, I've got no issue with that record. 11-6 is a good record. Make the playoffs. I just wonder if Caleb Williams is going to fall into the trap of the Madden curse, whether it's stat-wise or, God forbid, an injury. Which, by the way, I don't want him to get hurt.
Right.
I like Caleb. All right, so let's get into where's my next team. Who am I? Oh, dear God. Why?
I think you could breeze. Yeah, I think you could breeze through this one because I don't trust the Bengals.
Okay. I've got them beating Tampa week 1.
Okay.
They're going to lose to Houston. I don't give a damn whether it's Rodgers' first year, last year, whatever. I saw Mike McCarthy's offense 2 weeks in a row. I like what I saw from the quarterbacks that I saw them with. Rodgers is better than Aller and Howard. I actually think the Steelers beat Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. I think Jacksonville beats them here. So 1-3, they're going to beat my Dolphins. Coming into the bye week, I said Baltimore wins this game, right? Because it's a home game.
Yes.
Yeah. They'll beat Tennessee. I believe you said Atlanta wins this game.
Yes.
I'm going to agree with you because I think at this point, I think they get to 3-5, and Joe Burrow starts doing press conferences of, if you're not going to be happy, why do this? Now, I do think they smoked the Steelers at home in Week 10. I do think they beat the Commanders. I think they beat the Saints. Let's go and check that up. I think the Chiefs get them in Cincinnati. I had the Panthers losing this game, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the Colts actually beat them here. I'm very high on the Colts. I know they have their injury issues, but I think they're fully healthy by this point in the season. I had them beating Baltimore because it's a home game, so I'll give them 10-7.
Will it be enough to win a division? Absolutely not. Will it be enough to make the playoffs?
Maybe.
Maybe.
To me, it depends on what the AFC West looks like. Are the Chargers, the Chiefs, and the Broncos all playoff teams? I think that could throw a wrench into things for the Cincinnati Bengals. But I do think 10-7 for the Bengals is a good record. And I think it's enough to keep Joe Burrow from requesting a trade.
And will Zach Taylor keep his job after this year?
I think if they go 10-7, he does. Now, will that mean Duke Tobin keeps his job? I pray to God no. I want that man fired out of a cannon into the sun to never be heard of again. I hate that idiot. And he might be the worst GM I've ever seen in my life. So let's get into the next team that you're picking.
I know who's next.
Oh, no. Is it Sanders season or is it Deshaun Watson? And what is the record for either quarterback?
Okay, so they lose to Jacksonville.
Let's go off of this. This is Shador starting because I don't think Deshaun's starting.
After that press conference that I saw, and I would think since it's so long, I think we should tie it together. So with the subjects that we're talking about. So I think because of what Deshaun Watson said at
Yeah.
that press conference, you know, they booed you because of the performance that you had. Only 35 yards, bro. Like Deshaun Watson has not been good in six,
Years.
7 years. And I just felt like he was too immature in that press conference.
Right.
Now, I think the owner might want him to start strictly because it's the last year of his contract and he's going to get over 50 million this year. But I think Shador Sanders is looking like he's going to be QB1. He looks a lot better than he did last year. He's got a year of preparation this year. So I think Shador is going to be QB1 starting the season. It's now people are saying, why is no one talking about Dylan Gabriel? I don't think Dylan Gabriel is that good to start. I said it when he was drafted.
Whoa. He's better than Deshaun Watson.
Maybe, but
At least he won't go to the media and say, man, these are the same fans that booed me when I got hurt. They booed you when you got hurt because they realized, oh my God, we have a chance of actually having competent quarterback play.
and because of the big contract that they signed him for, which to this day I still say is the worst free agent contract. Well, the worst contract in NFL history because he was traded there.
It's the worst because they literally can't get out of it unless he rides it out. They literally can't. Otherwise, they handcuff their franchise for the next 10 years.
Right, and thankfully, it's the last year of the contract. It's the final year, but I don't think he's going to start. So I think Shador Sanders is going to be QB1. The only way Deshaun will get the job back is either Shador gets hurt or he struggles. So, but it's still the Browns. The Browns is the Browns. And your best player is gone. He's gone.
He's winning
the team that he's on, we're going to get to that later.
Yeah.
But it's still the Browns. This is the second team who I think will fight for the number one pick next year.
Yeah. So go ahead and just chalk it up for the win-loss record because this should be an easy chalk up. Shouldn't be much discussion with it. So you've got them losing to Jacksonville week 1.
I got them losing to Tampa.
Okay.
I got them losing to Carolina.
Okay.
Now, defensively, Pittsburgh's got a better defense. They still got TJ Watt if he's healthy. Pittsburgh wins that game.
Okay.
I mean, it's the Jets. I mean, come on.
So you have them winning or losing because it's the Browns.
I got the Jets losing, and I got the Browns winning this game.
The reason I said that is we can say it's the Jets for like every other team except for the Browns. And we can say it's the Browns for every other team except for the Jets.
Right.
All right.
Now,
this one.
Yeah, chalk it up.
Okay. This one.
Tennessee, I mean, it's Cam Ward. As long as they're not quote unquote Cam Ward's words, we ass.
Yeah.
I got Cleveland winning this game.
You actually have Cleveland beating the Titans.
Yes.
Okay.
They're losing to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They're losing to the Saints.
Yeah.
They're definitely losing to the Texans.
Yeah.
Now the Raiders.
Had the bye week.
The Raiders.
Yep.
Is Mendoza playing?
I think by week 12, probably.
I got the Browns winning that game.
Okay.
I got, surprisingly, shockingly, I got them beating the Bengals.
Whoa, dude.
But then come back to earth and lose to the Falcons. I don't like Jackson Dart. Cam Scatterboo, if he's not crazy or hurt. And I don't trust their defense. I know it's John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
I got the Browns winning that game.
Wow.
But they're going to lose to Baltimore.
Uh-huh.
Then they're losing to the Colts.
Uh-huh.
Then they're losing to the Bengals to finish the year 5-12.
I just want to point out, you gave the Browns 5 wins. I realistically thought you'd give them 2. I thought you would give them the Jets, and I thought you'd give them Tennessee. I did not see you giving them the Raiders or the Bengals because of two words here with the Raiders. Max Crosby.
They're not the Cardinals. They're not the Cardinals. So.
But Max Crosby may not even be on the Raiders by then. He may be somewhere else, which you'll be picking their record later. Right. If he's on that team, that'll be interesting.
Right.
And I'm shocked. Is this Bengals without Burrow, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay. So you think year one under Shedeur Sanders is a full-time starter, because we're just assuming he'll be the starter, 5-12.
Yes.
Do you think that's enough to show the Browns that he's the guy, or do you think they go for a quarterback in the draft?
Now, like I said, this is one of the teams that I think could be in the running for the number 1 seed, number 1 pick.
Not if they win 5 games.
Well, they may be in the top 5. They may be in the top 5. And like I said, there's about 4 to 5 different quarterbacks that may be in the first round next year coming out of the draft. Those quarterbacks are, in my opinion, the number 1 pick, Arch Manning.
Yeah.
You got Trinidad Chambliss from Ole Miss. You got Dante Moore from Oregon.
Uh-huh.
You got Sellers from South Carolina. And there's one more. Sellers, Chambliss, Moore, Manning. Those are the 4, in my opinion. Those 4, I think, will be a first-round pick.
Levitt at LSU could be in there.
Maybe.
I like Sam Levitt, dude.
Maybe. But those 4 are definitely, in my opinion, going to be first round. Chambliss, Moore, Sellers, and then Manning.
Yeah. I don't – CJ Carr's not coming out, is he? Because he's only a sophomore.
Probably not.
Sayan's only a sophomore. Or a redshirt. No.
But even if
not coming out.
But even if any other quarterbacks come out, I don't think they're going to be a first-round pick besides those 4 that I already named.
Well, we thought we knew the draft. We thought we knew who was going to be the first-round picks in this year's past draft, and we got 2 guys that weren't talked about as first-round picks going into the college season that became the number 1 overall pick and the number 13 pick. So, and the quarterbacks we thought were going to be the number 1s, like Nussmeier and Klubnik, and those guys ended up falling out of the top 3 rounds. And Beck was one that I thought could be a first-round pick. Gunnar Stockton could be a first-round pick.
Oh, I forgot about Gunnar from Georgia. I forgot about him.
All right, well, let's get into this next team that I get to pick.
No.
You get to take the one on the Dallas. Wait, just for preference, before we spoke, me and Rodney had 4 teams, or 2 teams each, that we were going to take. I was going to take the Broncos and the Dolphins, because the Dolphins are my team, and the Broncos, I love Bo Nix. Mm-hmm. Rodney was going to take the Cowboys, because that's his team, and he is taking the LA Rams. So, Rodney, your Dallas Cowboys, do you think this is the year? Are we going to Super Bowl finally?
I'm not saying that, but for the first time in forever, this is the first season where there hasn't been too much news from the Cowboys.
You just jinxed us. We're going to wake up tomorrow morning. Jerry Jones is going to have something crazy.
Now, George Pickens was franchise tagged. He was trying to get a new deal. But he didn't complain. I didn't hear any much backlash from him, so that's surprising. And we still got one of the top offenses in the league. We still got Dak Prescott. We got Javonte Williams as the running back who rushed for 1,000 yards last year. We got one of the top top three best receiver duos in the league with CD Lamb and George Pickens. We got a really solid tight end in Jake Ferguson, and we have a much improved defense. We
Yeah.
re-signed Quinn Williams. We signed a two-time Super Bowl champion veteran, Von Miller, who could help us get more pressure to the quarterback because we
Yep.
need sacks as a team. And then we made two really good picks for defense in Malachi Lawrence and Caleb Downs in the
Yep.
draft in the first round. And we knew that, and the fans knew we needed defense in this draft. So we drafted the needs that we needed. So is this going to be a better defense for the Cowboys? Yes. Is it top 10 worthy? Possibly.
So
Going
what's
into the
loss
season,
record?
so we're beating the Giants. We're
Okay.
beating the Commanders.
Okay.
We're beating. we're losing to the Rams.
You mean
And
the
then
Ravens?
the Ravens.
Okay.
Now the defense. Now it's the Houston defense against Dallas defense. But who's got the better offense? Dallas. I got Dallas.
Yep.
We're beating Tampa.
Okay.
We're
Week
beating Green
6,
Bay.
Go to Green Bay. Micah might be back. Revenge on his mind still from that bogus draw bullcrap last year.
I'm still going for Green Bay. I trust Dallas offense over Green Bay.
So you're going Dallas against Green Bay.
Yes.
Okay.
Now Philly at Lincoln Financial. I hate the Eagles.
Eagles without AJ Brown.
Philly may win this game.
Okay.
We're beating Arizona.
Yeah.
We're beating the Colts.
You.
Now, San Francisco. This has been a tough team for us the past few years, especially in the playoffs. The biggest question is Fred Warner and Joey Bosa going to be fully healthy? It's that defense I'm worried about.
You ain't worried about their offense if they're all healthy?
I'm not worried. Who's their top receiver? Mike Evans?
Well, you got Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall, Debo Samuel's back with them, McCaffrey, Kittle, who seemingly is off the PUP list.
I got
Purdy can sling it.
Dallas. I got Dallas.
Now, I don't think Brandon Ayuk's going to be playing football this year, but
Yeah. Next. I think we're going to split with Philly. So I got
Okay.
Philly. Now it's Seattle.
so wait, do you have them beating them? Hold on. Do you have Philly beating y'all in Dallas and y'all beating them in Philly? Because I have it as a loss here in week 7 for y'all.
Yeah, we're going to beat Philly at Dallas.
Okay.
Now it's the Seahawks. Ooh, this is the Super Bowl winning team. I will chalk that up
As a
as a loss.
okay, interesting. Now coming out of the bye week. Oh dear God. Is this where it falls apart?
Chalk it up as a loss.
Okay. Now what do we do here?
But these next 3 games, bye-bye.
Okay, so you have the Dallas Cowboys 13-4. You have them losing to the Seahawks, the Ravens, the Eagles, and the Rams.
And what I did was they are good teams, playoff teams.
Yeah.
2 of the teams made the conference championship, and one of them is the reigning Super Bowl champs.
Now here's the question I've got. Is 13-4 enough to win the division? Or do the Eagles best that?
Truthfully, I think it's enough.
Okay.
I think it's enough.
Well, let's get to the next team, which I will be picking, and I'm very excited for this. And you already know where I'm going. The
Yep.
Denver Broncos. Okay.
Now, since
So
I picked the last two, you can have the next two.
no, no. Remember, we're splitting them unless it falls where our teams are back to back. So you
No, no,
happen.
no, no. Let's be fair. I
Okay.
picked the last two, so you
Okay.
got the next two.
So I'll get Denver, and then after Denver, there's
Is
who's that?
Detroit? Detroit.
Okay, so I'll have some fun with that. And then you'll get Green Bay,
Hmm.
and then we'll go back to every other.
Yes.
So after you get Green Bay, I'll get the next. And okay, Week 1, Monday Night Football, Kansas City, Denver. I don't give a damn. Mahomes, you can't tell me this guy tore his ACL in Week 15 and is healthy to play in Week 1. There's no way that's possible. It's not scientifically possible. They may play him. He's not going to be healthy. I've got Denver winning that game. Chalk that up. Now, Week 3, the Rams. Here's where I'm going on this thought. I think Aaron Donald's back. And they've got Myles Garrett. And they've got Trent McDuffie. And they've got Jalen Watson. And they've got Puka Nacua. And Devontae Adams. And Matthew Stafford. And Kyron Williams. So I do think they beat Denver Week 3. Week 4, Denver. Week 5, Denver. Week 6, Denver. Week 7, Denver. Week 8, Denver. Week 9, Denver. Week 11, Denver. Week 12, Denver. Yeah, Denver. 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 Now, you had them losing to Buffalo, correct? Or did you have them beating Buffalo?
I think it's going to be neck and neck, but this is your pick.
Okay. I personally, I think because it's in Denver, I think the defense is better for Denver. I think Denver wins that game. I think they do Week 17, beat the Patriots. I think they have the number 1 seed locked up here in Week 18. So I'm going to actually give the win to the Chargers here in Denver. I think 15-2. I'm going bold. I went Ravens at 14-3. I went Denver at 15-2. Those are my 1 and 2 seeds. Here's the thing, man. Look at this schedule and tell me who you see them losing to. I guess I could split with the Chiefs. But other than that.
I will say the Chiefs will be a split.
Okay.
And then possibly the Patriots.
Okay.
But
and here's what I'll say to that.
They lost to the Patriots with an unhealthy Bo Nix. With a healthy Bo Nix,
exactly,
you may be right.
And here's what I'll say about that game specifically and the season. I'll say 3 names: Nick Bonitto, who I think is one of the best edge rushers in the game; Bo Nix; Jalen Waddle. I saw what Jalen Waddle was able to do in Miami with a bad quarterback and a bad offensive line and a very bad defense and really a bad coaching staff outside of the head coach. I think he's going to go crazy in Denver.
You forgot one more name.
Cortland Sutton?
No.
PS2.
There we go.
PS2. If I had to say 4 names, I was going to say 3. But there's 4 key players: Bo Nix, Jalen Waddle, PS2, Nick Bonitto, and I think Sean Payton's one of the best head coaches in football. You can't say he's not. And he's giving up play calling this year to Davis Webb. So I really believe that the Broncos can go 15-2. It's a bold take. It's a bold prediction. But that's what we do on this show, man. It's go big or go home.
Right.
All right. So you said I get the next one as well, correct? Because you got Dallas and Cleveland back to back.
Mm-hmm.
The Detroit Lions. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh man, here's the thing, man. You keep talking about that defense, that defense, that defense. They don't have Brian Branch. They don't have Kirby Joseph right now healthy. A lot of their key players are not healthy right now on the defense. Terrion Arnold is in Seattle and may not even play for the Seahawks. I do like, now I like Detroit's offense, but I saw what they were last year without Ben Johnson. I like Dan Campbell, but I don't know how good that offense is going to be this year. So I'm going to go with Detroit does win week 1. I think week 2 they lose to Buffalo. Yeah, that's a win. That'll be a win, and that'll be a win. Now, week 7, you've got Micah back for the Packers. More than likely. I think the Packers win that game. Week 8, that Brian Flores defense. Hey, Brian Flores, you want to come coach Miami Dolphins again, man? We'd love to have you back. As a fan base, come back. I don't even care about Jeff Halfley, okay? He can go play hopscotch somewhere else. I don't care about him. Come back. I think Minnesota wins that game. That'll be a win. I actually think the Patriots beat Detroit in Detroit because I think Vrabel is a better coach than Dan Campbell. And I think Drake May is better than Jared Goff. And A.J. Brown's better than Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I may argue that one.
A.J. Brown is better than Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay, A.J. Brown's a better deep ball receiver than Amon-Ra.
He's a bigger body. That's the thing. He's a bigger body.
I think they end up beating the Bears. I think they lose to the Falcons in Atlanta strictly because I think Bijan Robinson goes off. Remember, this will be the game of the 2 highest paid running backs in football right now. I think Bijan's going to go off.
Mm-hmm.
I think yeah. I actually see the Vikings sweeping the Lions. I think they do end up beating New York. I think they split with the Bears. And I think they split with the Packers. 10-7 for me for Detroit. Good enough to make the playoffs. I don't think not good enough to win the division. In my opinion, the division winner is going to be either Green Bay or Minnesota. Because I think both defenses are the 2 best defenses. I think both offenses are better than Chicago's and Detroit's. So I'll go 10-7 for Detroit. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's right where they may finish at.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a fair take. I mean, they did okay last year without Ben Johnson, but they didn't do great. They weren't the same offense, and their defense is depleted right now, and we don't know when some of their guys are going to be coming back. Let's get into the next team. This is your picking, the Green Bay Packers, with Micah Parsons probably coming back week 6 against Dallas. What do you got for me, Rodney?
I have losing Minnesota.
Alrighty. Oh, my bad.
Beating the Jets.
Yeah.
Losing to the Falcons.
Okay.
Beating the Bucks.
Okay.
Losing to the Bears. Losing to the Cowboys.
Uh-huh.
Once again, losing to the Lions.
Okay, so we see that game the same way. Or we don't, but
right. They're going to beat Carolina. I think they're going to beat the Patriots. Now, this one is going to be neck and neck. So I think with this game at Lambeau Field, I'm going for Green Bay.
Okay.
Next. They're beating the Saints. I'm going to disrespect Josh Allen.
You're going to what, Josh Allen?
I'm just playing. Lose against Buffalo. But then they're going to beat Miami.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to beat the Bears at all this year. So lose to the Bears. And then, like we were talking about with the Houston defense, but it's in the cold at Lambeau.
And CJ
So,
Stroud doesn't play well outdoors.
so I'm going with Green Bay this game.
Okay.
And then finally, the final game, you're sitting at 8-8. I'm going for Green Bay.
Okay, 9-8, not a bad record for the Packers. The Green Bay Packers.
But not enough to make the playoffs. Not enough.
I think right there, but just they needed that. They needed that win against the Rams to get them over.
And the Bears. And the Bears.
Yeah, they needed to not get swept by the Bears. Now, I don't think
Yeah.
they get swept by the Bears. I think they split with Chicago. I think they personally win in Green Bay against Chicago and then lose to them later on. But that's your prediction. It's your record.
Yeah.
9-8. All right, so let's get to the next game or the next team after the Green Bay Packers. We have the
Houston. Yeah, the Houston Texans.
Yes. Oh boy. All right. Week 1, they're going to beat Buffalo. Here's my thought process. Josh Allen does not play very well in Houston. And Will Anderson Jr. scares me.
Mm-hmm.
And they got Philly's boy, Reed, from Philly. So is it Reed Blankenship? Is that what I want to say it is?
And don't forget Derek Stingley.
Yeah. I think they do beat the Bengals.
And don't forget Daniil Hunter as well.
Right. I think they beat the Colts week 3. I think they lose to the Cowboys week 4. I think, they're going to beat the Titans. They'll beat the Jags in Jacksonville. They'll beat New York because I think the defense is better than the New York's defense. They'll beat the Chargers in LA. Chalk this one up as a win. Now, here's the thing. I think week 11 at home against the Colts, I think the Colts will be healthy. I think the Colts win that game. I've got the Ravens beating them in week 12. They'll beat Pittsburgh. They'll beat the Commanders. I think they lose to Jacksonville and Houston. I think they lose to Philly. I think they lose to Green Bay. I think they beat Tennessee. They go 11-6. Won't be good enough to win the division because I actually think that the Colts win the division this year. But maybe good enough for a playoff spot in the AFC. We'll have to see how the rest of the teams do. And speaking of the aforementioned Indianapolis Colts, Rodney, would you like to do the honors? The honors.
Yes. So for the Indianapolis Colts,
You'd be nice to Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, Mr. Daniel Dirt Jones, losing against the Ravens.
Yeah.
Losing to the Chiefs.
That hurts.
Losing to the Texans.
Yeah.
Then they're going to beat Washington. I'll give them Pittsburgh.
Okay.
They'll beat the Titans.
Uh-huh.
Brian Flores defense at Minnesota, like, come on. Minnesota all day.
Yeah.
And Tony Khan.
It's in Duval.
Tony Khan. I wonder how that defense is going to look. You know, you got John, the real John Allen, Josh Allen. You got the real Josh Allen.
Whoa,
in that
his
game.
name is Josh Hines Allen. Thank you. Do not disrespect the MVP.
I will say Josh Allen will have an impact game this game. So I got Jacksonville win that game. Obviously, they're losing to the Cowboys, but they will come back and beat the Dolphins.
Thanks, man.
But we'll lose to the Texans again because Houston's defense is scary. I got them beating the Giants, but they're going to lose to the tush push at Philly. beating the Titans, beating the Bengals, beating the Browns, and then the last game. This might be a test for whether they make the playoffs, depending on how Houston finishes. I got them beating Jacksonville at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Okay, let me just go ahead and tell you something. This is your record prediction, so I'm not going to argue it. However, I'd make a few changes. I think they sweep Jacksonville. I do think that they beat Houston at least once. I think it's week 11. I do think they beat the Eagles. And why you got to say, like, hey, obviously they're going to beat the Dolphins, man? Like, come on. Like, we know they're going to beat the Dolphins, but you don't have to be, like, that mean about it.
I mean, I'm just stating the obvious. I'm reading the room. Like, come on.
Well, the room's got me, a Dolphins fan, in it, so be nice. All right, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Liam Cohen, year 2. Can he repeat the same success? Well, let's find out. I have them beating the Browns week 1. They'll lose to the Broncos week 2. They will lose week 3 to the Patriots. I have them beating the Bengals. I've got Philly beating them here. It's in Duval. I do have the Houston Texans winning this game. I've got the Colts. Oh, my bad. I've got the Colts. Yeah, my bad. I've got the Colts beating them here in Duval. I've got, the Ravens. They'll beat the Titans. They'll beat New York. They'll beat Tennessee again. I think they beat the Bears. I think they beat Pittsburgh and Duval. They'll get Houston at Houston. They'll lose to the Cowboys. They'll beat the Commanders. And then I think they lose to the Colts. I think 9-8 for the for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that's where they sit. What do you have?
Oh, it's my Bluetooth speaker.
I was so confused. I mean, I think 9-8's a good record for them. I don't see them having. I don't see them doing the same thing they did last year, where they surprised everybody. They're not going to surprise people this year.
Yeah, because the same thing happened in 2021 when they won the division and came back against the Chargers. They had these expectations, and they started off good, but Trevor Lawrence got hurt, and then the season sucked down. Then don't forget 2017, 10-6. They win the division. Then they go all the way to the conference championship and barely loses to the Patriots. So once again, the expectations are high, and then they fall back down to earth. So this might be another situation once again. Now the Jaguars has a surprising season, and then they come back down to earth.
That's not an indictment on Liam Cohen. I think he's a hell of a ball coach.
Right.
I just don't think the roster's ready yet for them to go back-to-back with great records.
I agree.
Now, let's get into the next team. So we've had the Jaguars that I just did. Yes! Thank God, man. It lands for you to do the Chiefs. What you got for Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Travis Swift?
So I think this is his final year in the NFL.
Who?
I think the writing's on the wall for Travis. He just married Taylor Swift, so I think this is it. I think this is it. So he's going to go out with a bang, and once again, not making the playoffs, losing to Denver, beating the Colts, and I'm going to make you happy for once.
Whoa.
I'm going to throw you a bone.
No.
I'm going to have the Dolphins not being smashed in this game and lose in a close game.
Okay.
but they're beating the Raiders.
I didn't know where you were going with that Dolphins pick. I was actually about to get mad at you.
But I do not trust Justin Herbert. I think he's the most overrated quarterback in the league, and I will still believe that. So I got them beating the Chargers. Then they're going to lose the next two games with Seattle and Denver.
Okay.
They're going to beat the Jets. And then, like I said, at Mercedes-Benz, I might even go to that game. Actually, I'm going for the Falcons.
Wait, you want to be in the same building as Taylor Swift? Rodney, are you becoming a Swiftie?
Say that again, and I'm leaving the live.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
We've still got most of the league to pick, and we're an hour and 15 minutes into this.
Right. So let's breeze through this. Arizona lost. Buffalo, I gotta win.
You got them beating Buffalo?
Yes.
Okay.
But we don't need to go over that game. I mean, come on. They're losing. They're beating Cincinnati.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna beat the Patriots. I got them losing to the 49ers, actually.
Okay.
I think they might split with the Chargers.
Okay.
And then they're beating the Raiders.
Okay, so you said they're not making the playoffs, but you have them going 10-7.
Yes.
That's a playoff record.
I don't think so, because you still got the other teams in the AFC. I don't think it's enough to make the playoffs.
I didn't say it was enough, but you do have them having a winning record and winning 10 games.
Just not making the playoffs.
Yeah. All right, so like you said, we need to breeze through this because we're like an hour and 15 minutes into it, and we're just past the Chiefs. Oh, yay, I get the Raiders. Yay! My quarterback nightmare, that fucking idiot Fernando Mendoza. And Kirko Chains. As I said to you, dude, as I said to you on the phone the other day, this might be the most white guy quarterback room in the history of quarterback rooms. One dude shops at Kohl's and goes to Great Clips to get haircuts. And the other one, okay, are you sitting down? He talks like he's on Sesame Street. He's like, did you hear what he said about the Texans joint practice? He's like, I had some good plays and some bad plays that I wish I had back. But actually, that's a lie because even the bad plays I can learn from. Dude, you talk like a fucking robot and nobody respects you. Bro, here's the thing. His ass is from Miami. And he talks like he's from fucking the Midwest or some shit, bro. Or like Canada. He's so nice. Bro, be a dick. Somebody needs to get him some. Max Crosby, take his ass to a tattoo parlor and make him get a tattoo. He needs lessons on how to be a dude. Because Vegas is going to eat you up and spit you out. If you're around there going, thank you, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. You walk around like you a dog in that city, bro. You do not walk around saying, yes, ma'am, thank you, and no, sir, and all that other bullshit. Stop being a nice dude, man.
Man, get to the picks.
Yeah. Okay, so my Dolphins week 1, I have them beating them. They're going to lose to the Chargers. I think they lose to the Saints. They'll lose to the Chiefs. They'll lose to the Patriots. They're going to lose to the Bills. They're going to lose to the Rams. They'll beat the Jets. They'll lose to the Niners. They're going to lose to the Seahawks. Clint Kubiak hosting his old team. It ain't going to go well for him. They're going to lose to the Broncos. I think they beat the Browns. I think after week 13, they're sitting 3-9. This is where we get Mendoza. I think rookie luck, they beat the Chargers in week 14. They'll lose to the Broncos. They'll beat the Titans. I think week 17, it is going to be Fernando Mendoza versus Carson Beck. Rematch of the national championship from a year ago. And I think the Raiders have the better team, and then they'll lose to the Chiefs. So I have them going 6-11. I'm being nice, and the only reason I'm being nice is because Kirk Cousins is going to start out at quarterback.
Yeah,
and I like
6-11 is pushing it for real.
I like Kirk though. Hey, at least Kirk has an alternate, personality called Kirko Chains. At least he got that, bro. What? Fernando don't got nothing, bro. I swear to God. Hold on. Are they coming to Tennessee or does Tennessee go to them? Fuck. Tennessee comes to them. Damn it. I was going to go to that game. You know what? I might go to that week 3 game with the Saints. Just so I can look Fernando Mendoza eye to eye. And really, bro, the other thing is his brother gets on my damn nerves too. This motherfucker, week 1 of the preseason, is in the booth calling the game, talking about how fun it is in Vegas. You wouldn't know shit about Vegas, bro. You're like 11 years old. You can't go anywhere.
Okay. Next team. You're getting off topic.
I'm sorry. All right, the Chargers. Go ahead, Rodney. Go ahead.
Okay, so since I got the next 2 picks, I'm going to breeze through this one.
Hold on, you got the next 2?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you do because the Rams are after the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then you'll have the next 2 once again.
Yeah, and I think one of those is the Dolphins.
So we got beating the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Beating the Raiders.
Uh-huh.
Losing to Buffalo.
Yep.
Losing to the Seahawks.
Uh-huh.
Losing to the Broncos. I think they will split with the Chiefs, but not this game. Losing to the Chiefs. Chalk up that one. Losing to Houston. Losing to Baltimore. Beating the Jets. Now, Justin Herbert did get his butt kicked by the Patriots in the wild card game last year.
Yep.
Like I said, I think he is overrated. But this game, they may get lucky. I got them beating the Patriots.
Okay.
Beating the Bucks. Beating the Raiders. Beating the 49ers. Putting up 40 points against the Dolphins.
40? You think Mike McDaniel is going to Denver Bronco us?
Then beating the Chiefs. But they're not beating the Broncos.
So you have 9-8 for the Chargers.
Yes.
I want to go back to that 40 comment you made. You think that Mike McDaniel with Justin Herbert is going to do to us what our offense did to the fucking Broncos a few years ago when we put up 70?
But
that's just mean.
Let's get to the juicy part. I've been waiting for this team.
We know how this is going to go. Go ahead.
Look, just put up 17-0.
Are you kidding me?
I'm calling
it, dude, in Denver.
I'm calling it 17-0.
Week 3 in Denver? Come on, man.
I'm calling it 17-0.
I mean, look, this is your predictions.
I will explain why.
Hold on. Let me get through this chalk up. Okay, start explaining yourself. 17-0 in this NFL. I know they're elite, and I know they're the fucking Avengers. But, like, dude.
Okay, so just like what happened in 2021, this is a win now team. This may be Matthew Stafford's last year in the NFL. This may be his last chance to win his second ring. Then you got Myles Garrett, the unanimous defensive player of the year. And mind you, history lesson. This is we may look this up. This may be the first time ever we have the MVP and the defensive player of the year from the previous year on the same team.
17-0.
You got the best offensive player versus the best and the best defensive player on the same team, you still have a great offense. You still have a great defense. And then lastly, if Aaron Donald comes back,
It ain't if, it's when. That motherfucker's coming back.
this team is going to run roughshod on the season. The only way this season will be a failure is if they don't make it to the Super Bowl.
Dude, 17. Hold on. You have them beating the Broncos in Denver. You have them beating the Bills.
It's Myles Garrett.
And you have them sweeping the Seahawks, defending Super Bowl champions.
Did you not see who they just added on their defense?
I'm aware of who they have. But, dude, it's hard to go 17-0.
But like I said, who is going to block Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett?
But here's my question. The last time a team went completely undefeated throughout the years was the Dolphins in like the 80s or 70s.
72.
No. The last time a team went undefeated in the regular season was the Patriots, and they lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl. Do you see the Rams going undefeated in the regular season and doing what the Dolphins did, winning it all, or losing in the Super Bowl?
Personally, I think they're going to do what the Dolphins did.
Motherfucker. That's the one thing Dolphins fans have to hold our hats on.
But if they're going to lose,
son of a bitch.
If they're going to lose, realistically, I think there's 2 games that they could lose.
I can see 3.
I say 2. Denver and Seattle.
Okay. I'm going to say there's 3. Denver, Dallas, and Seattle.
As much as I want Dallas to win against the Rams and be so cheery about it,
You motherfucker.
it's Aaron Donald. It's Myles Garrett. It's Matthew Stafford. It's Puka Nacua if he's not crazy. It's Devontae Adams.
That's the question. Is he going to be crazy?
It's Trent McDuffie. It's what's the running back's name again?
Kyron Williams.
Kyron Williams. I mean, come on.
Hey, that's a bold take. I did not
It
think
is.
we were going to get a completely undefeated team predicted on this record. But if it was going to be one, it was going to be the Rams.
Yes.
All right, let's get into the next team, which I already know which that.
And you got the next 2 since I did it
Okay.
again. I'm gonna walk away from this one.
You don't have to walk away. I'm going to chalk through it. Did you actually walk away?
Yep, I'm back. I'm still here. I don't want to see your sadness. I don't want to see your
I'm
sadness.
not sad. I'm not sad. I'm going to be happy here. They're going to lose to the Raiders, lose to the Niners, lose to the Chiefs, lose to the Vikings, lose to the Bengals. For some fucking reason, we're going to beat the Jets. We're going to lose to the Patriots. Or, my bad. Lose to the Patriots. Lose to the Lions. Lose to the Colts. Lose to the Bills. We'll beat the Jets again for some fucking reason. We're going to lose to the Broncos. Lose to the Bears. Lose to the Packers. Chargers are going to 70-0 us. Lose to the Bills. 2-15. 2-15. I pray to God we go and get the number 1 pick and we get Arch Manning or Dante Moore. I don't care which one it is. I just want one of them playing quarterback in South Beach.
I was going to ask that.
Here's the thing. I know Arch Manning didn't look great at the beginning of last year, but in the second half of the season, he got better. And I think he'll be similar to Eli and similar to Peyton. He'll be a better pro quarterback than he was a college quarterback. I think the Manning family is, outside of Archie, built to be better pro quarterbacks than college quarterbacks. They just have to go through pro football or college football to get to the pros. 2-15, clean slate. Hell, I don't even want us touching Jeremiah Smith. I love Jeremiah Smith. We don't deserve him. And I want Malik Willis off the team. I want Malik gone. I want Quinn Ewers gone. I want whoever our fucking third string quarterback is, Gronowski or whatever his name is from Iowa. Get him out of Miami. I want the owner fired. I want Dan Marino to buy the team. Dan Marino, buy the team. Because you know what, man? When you were playing, it was fun and exciting, and we had a chance every year. We don't have a chance. I have a better chance of winning the fucking lottery that's not in Alabama than I do of the Dolphins being a good team and making it to a Super Bowl in my fucking lifetime. I've never seen it in my lifetime.
You also never seen a playoff win in your lifetime.
Shut the fuck up. You've never seen the Cowboys in the fucking NFC Championship or Super Bowl in your lifetime, you son of a bitch.
You wasn't even thought of the last time the Dolphins made the Super Bowl.
Bitch, you shut up. All right, I've got the next team, Minnesota Vikings. Now, if 9 had won the quarterback competition, I'd say the Vikings have a chance to go 0-17. But
highly unlikely when you got that defense and Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson and Jordan Addison.
Yeah, but
highly
9
unlikely.
sucks. JJ McCarthy is good. 9 is terrible. I think, here we go. I think they do beat the Packers week 1. I think they beat the Bears. I think they lose to Tampa. Yeah, they're going to, yeah. I think the Saints get them here week 5. They come out of the bye week. I think they beat the Colts. I think they beat the Lions in Detroit. I think they lose to the Bills. I think they lose here to the Packers. I think they beat the Niners. They're going to beat the Falcons. They'll beat the Panthers. I actually think they beat the Patriots. I think they're going to beat the Lions here. They're going to beat the Commanders. They'll beat the Jets. And they will lose to the Bears to end the year. But 12-5, and I think they win the division.
Solid.
I thought that was fair.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've gotten your 2 teams out of the way, and I've gotten my 2 teams out of the way, correct?
Yes.
So it's chalk up every other from now on.
Yes.
So you've got the Patriots. What you got for me, Rodney?
So this is not an easy schedule like they had last year. So the first game is a
Super Bowl rematch, Sunday Night Football, or Wednesday Night Football, my bad, to kick off the season.
But they're losing that game once again. But they beat Pittsburgh. They beat Jacksonville. They lose to Buffalo.
Yeah.
They beat the Raiders, beat the Jets. I think they lose to the Bears.
Okay.
They beat the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Beat the Packers. Beat the Lions.
Wow. So you have them beating the Packers and the Lions back to back. And you have them beating the Packers with Micah Parsons.
He's not going to be 100% at that time, I don't think.
Dude, he's probably going to come back week 6.
But beat the Chargers.
Okay.
Lose to the Bills.
Okay.
Lose to the Vikings.
Uh-huh.
Beat the Chiefs. Beat the Jets. Lose to the Broncos.
Uh-huh.
Beat the Dolphins.
Okay. 11-6. I don't hate it. It's a good record. It's playoff worthy. We'll see how if they get in or not. They'll probably get in because they have to have probably 2 teams from the East. And it won't be the Jets or the Dolphins. So
No.
I don't even know if the Dolphins are going to be playing football by that time. But oh, yes. Oh, this worked out beautifully because I've already said it a few times in this episode. I'm very high on the New Orleans Saints. Now, I know Jordan Tyson's already got hurt. That's a big blow, especially if you're a fantasy football player. But let's chalk through it real quick. I think they lose to the Lions week 1. They're going to lose to the Ravens week 2. They'll beat the Raiders. I think they beat the Falcons. They'll lose to the Vikings. They'll beat the Giants. They'll beat Pittsburgh. They're going to beat the Browns. They'll beat the Panthers. I think they beat the Bears. I think they beat Cincinnati. They'll lose to the Packers. They'll beat the Panthers again. They'll beat the Buccaneers. They will beat the Cardinals. I can see them losing here to Atlanta in Atlanta. Then they beat Tampa. 12-5 for me for the Saints.
I think that's a little bit too high.
Tyler Shuck, Travis Etienne, Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, and a please God be healthy Jordan Tyson.
I think that's a little bit too high. I'll give them 9 wins, but 12, no.
Hey, this is hot take season, man, and that's a hot take. 12-5 for that team, and I think it's possible.
Oof.
And you cannot deny Kellen Moore is a hell of a football coach.
Offensive coach, yes.
I think they're going to be just fine. All right, next team up for Rodney is the New York Giants. Rodney, it seems like you're getting all the NFC East teams.
0-17.
What? Dude, come on, be realistic.
Okay, but losing to the Cowboys, losing to the Rams.
Okay.
I'll give them Tennessee.
Okay.
And Arizona.
Okay.
I think they'll beat Washington.
Okay.
Lose to the Saints. Lose to the Texans.
Okay. Coming out of their bye week against Philly.
They're definitely going to lose against Philly.
Okay.
I think once again they beat Washington.
Okay.
They lose to Jacksonville.
Okay.
They lose to the Colts.
Okay.
They lose to the 49ers.
Okay.
They lose to the Seahawks.
Okay.
They beat the Browns.
Okay.
And then they lose the next 3 games.
The next 3? So you have, again, I just want to point this out. You have the New York Giants in year 1 under John Harbaugh going 5-12.
It doesn't matter if it's Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, Brian Flores. I don't trust Jackson Dart. I don't trust Cam Scatterboo. As much as I love Malik Neighbors out of LSU, I don't trust. He's coming back from an injury that was very, very crucial. We don't know how he's going to.
You are aware that they got Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame, right?
It's not enough.
You're also aware that Cam Scatterboo will quite literally run through a brick wall.
Yeah, but he might get hurt again. And what I saw when he did that backflip at that WWE event.
Oh, come on.
He's definitely stupid.
Well, yeah. Look, they didn't draft him because he's the smartest player. They didn't even draft him. They signed him as a free agent. They didn't take him smart. They took him because he'll run through a brick wall for the team.
And then OBJ, this is literally a comeback tour.
Bro, he may not even make the team.
I think he will. I think he'll make the team.
Hold on. So I just want to ask you, I'm not going to change anything because this is your prediction. At what point is Jackson Dart on the IR for a concussion? Because that's the only way I've seen him only winning 5 games.
Week 6 or week 7.
Okay, if you tell me that by week 6 he'll be on IR for a concussion and probably won't come back. Okay. But if Jackson Dart's healthy for this season, I see them winning 10 games.
Forget Big Blue, bro. I hate Big Blue.
Now, I was going to ask you, is part of this because you're a Cowboys fan and you just don't want to root for the Giants?
Yes.
Okay. I thought so.
I hate them boys.
You need to be nice to Jackson Dart.
No.
Oh, dear God.
I'm going to walk away from this one, too.
I don't know why. I'm just going to chalk up a bunch of L's for them. They'll lose to the Titans. They'll lose to the Packers. They'll lose to the Lions. Lose to the Bears. Lose to the Browns. Lose to the Patriots. Lose to the Dolphins. Lose to the Raiders. Lose to the Chiefs. Lose to the Bills. Lose to the Chargers. Lose to the Dolphins. Lose to the Broncos. They'll lose to the Cardinals. Lose to the Patriots. Lose to the Vikings. And they will lose. Or, my bad. They will lose to the Bills. 0-17. 0-17. They'll get the number 1 overall pick. And they'll somehow end up with one of my 2 quarterbacks that I want. And somehow the Dolphins won't get the number 2 pick. And we'll end up with, oh my God, I don't think we have a first round pick. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think the Dolphins have their own first.
Why?
I can't remember. I think we traded away for somebody. Oh my, wait, did we trade it for Tua when we got Tua? No, we haven't.
No, it don't matter. They suck.
I mean, either way, the Dolphins are going to be screwed because let's say we draft a franchise quarterback. He still has nobody to throw to and no offensive line and no defense. So it doesn't even fucking matter.
Right.
But I got the Jets going 0-17. Any complaints there?
No.
I also think Aaron Glenn gets fired by the bye week.
I hate to see it, but probably.
I don't think he's a good coach. Dear God, dude, you are getting all the NFC East teams. Yes, it worked out.
Can they go 0-17 as well?
No, you can't pick them to go 0-17. This is the Eagles we're talking about, not the fucking Jets. I can pick the Jets to go 0-17 because I picked the Dolphins to win 2 games, those being against the Jets.
Beat Washington, beat Tennessee, beat Chicago, losing to the Rams, beating Jacksonville.
Beating Jacksonville?
Yeah. Beating Carolina.
Okay.
Losing to Dallas.
You said winning, right?
I said losing.
Yeah, I know.
Don't try me.
Hey, man.
Beating Washington, beating New York, beating Pittsburgh, once again losing to Dallas, beating Arizona, beating the Colts, losing to Seattle, losing to Houston, beating San Francisco, and beating the Giants.
Okay, so you have them going 12-5. I know that hurt.
Yes.
How the fuck did you end up with all the NFC East teams?
I don't.
The one you haven't done yet is what, the Commanders, or did we already do them?
I think they're the last one. Washington is the last one.
I think. I don't even fucking know anymore.
Yeah.
We've done all the teams, and I don't even know how many we've done all of them that have went by. Oh my God, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Why? Why do I get the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers?
Go ahead. Aaron Rodgers retirement tour.
I've got them losing week 1 to the Falcons. They'll lose week 2 to the Patriots. They'll beat the Bengals. Beat the Browns. Lose to the Colts. Oh, my bad. Lose to the Colts. They'll beat Tampa. Did I have the Saints winning this game? I'm pretty sure I did. Right?
I think so.
Yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'm picking the Saints. They'll beat the Browns again. They'll lose here to Cincinnati. I think they actually beat the Eagles. Lose to the Broncos, lose to the Texans. Beat Jacksonville, lose to Baltimore. They'll beat Carolina. They'll beat Tennessee. and they'll lose to Baltimore here. So 8-9 for Aaron Rodgers' retirement tour.
They're not going to go 500.
Well, you can't go 500 anymore because there's 17 games. But this will be the first losing season they have.
Yeah, ever since Mike Tomlin. Because Mike Tomlin never had a losing season.
Yeah, in what, like 20 years or something like that?
Yeah, almost 20.
All right, speed through the 49ers. Let's roll.
All right, so obviously losing the Rams, beating the Dolphins. Everyone's going to beat the Dolphins. Beating Arizona.
You don't have to keep saying everybody's going to beat the Dolphins. The Jets won't.
Beating the Cardinals. Losing to the Broncos. Losing to Seattle. Beating the Commanders. Losing to the Falcons. Beating
the Commanders, losing to the Falcons,
beating the Raiders, losing to Dallas, losing to Minnesota because of their defense,
okay,
losing to the Seahawks, and then beating the Giants. You're definitely losing to the Rams again, and then I think they're going to win the next 4 games.
Okay, so you have them going 9-8.
Because their schedule is because of the other teams in the NFC, and they gotta go up against the Rams and the Seahawks.
Yeah, and that substation, they may not be able to field a team half the year.
Right. And they're hurt once again.
Yeah, already. It's crazy. I mean, they're probably the most injured team right now.
Yeah.
And the Chargers are trying to find an offensive line. Oh, shit. Hell yeah. I got the defending Super Bowl champions. They will beat the Patriots, beat the Cardinals, they'll beat Washington, they'll beat the Chargers, they'll beat the Niners, lose to the Broncos, they'll beat Kansas City, they'll beat Chicago, they'll beat Arizona, they'll beat the Raiders, beat the Niners, lose to the Cowboys, beat the Giants, lose to the Eagles, lose to the Rams, beat the Panthers, and lose to the Rams. 12-5. 12-5.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I mean, dude, I have to pick them to lose to the Rams because you have the Rams going 17-0.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think they split those games, but to not confuse our audience, I'll give the Rams both wins. Because maybe somebody saw you take them 17-0, and then they see me go, well, they'll split. So I'll give you 17-0 on the Rams.
Yeah.
Even though I think that's asinine, to be honest with you.
I pulled that out of thin air. I will.
Well, I'm aware. All right, we got. Okay. We only got 3 teams left, and you'll end with the Commanders. You get the whole entire NFC East.
That's crazy, man.
And dude, I think I got the entire AFC North or East. I got the entire AFC East. You got the entire NFC East. How the fuck did this happen, bro?
Beats me.
All right, you get Tampa, man.
Beating Cincinnati.
Yep.
Beating the Browns.
Yeah.
Losing to the Vikings. Losing to the Packers. Losing to Dallas. Beating Pittsburgh. Losing to Carolina. Losing to Atlanta. Losing to Chicago. Losing to Detroit. Beating Carolina. Losing to the Chargers. Losing to the Ravens. Beating the Saints. Losing to the Falcons. Losing to the Rams. And they'll beat the Saints.
So you have, in a contract year, Tampa going 6-11 with Baker.
Baker is not the problem. The problem is their defense.
No, I'm aware of that. I'm just saying, you think. Well, I mean, hey, they did get Vita Vea re signed for a year.
I don't think Vita Vea is enough.
I don't either. I was just pointing out that they took care of one player. All right, so we got what, 2 teams left, I believe,
Yep.
and we will end on the Commanders.
Yep. We will end this live on the Commanders. Boo hoo.
Well, we'll end this subject. We got more subjects to get to. All right, I get the Titans here. I think they beat the Jets. I think they lose to the Eagles, lose to the Giants, lose to the Ravens, lose to the Texans, lose to the Colts. They'll beat the Browns. They will lose to the Bengals, lose to Jacksonville. I think they beat Dallas. I'm kidding. They lose to Dallas. Lose to the Jags. Lose to the Commanders. Lose to the Lions. Lose to the Colts. They'll lose to the Raiders. They will lose to the Steelers. And they'll lose to the Texans. 2-15. And I'm strictly basing this off of I don't trust Robert Saleh. And they didn't really spend a lot of money in free agency. Now, I love Cam Ward. I think he's the answer at quarterback. But I don't see them winning more than 2 games this year. And the 2 games are against teams that I think are going to be vying for the number 1 spot. All right, let's get into this last team so we can move on to a different subject. Commanders, what you got? And you cannot say 0-17. You have to be realistic.
Losing to Philly, losing to Dallas, losing to Seattle, losing to the Colts, beating the Giants, losing to the 49ers, losing to the Eagles, losing to the Rams, beating the Bengals.
What about the Giants here?
Losing to the Giants, beating the Bengals, beating the Cardinals, beating the Titans,
Okay.
losing to the Texans, losing to the Falcons, losing to the Vikings, losing to Jacksonville, and losing to Dallas.
So 4-13. That's actually not as bad as I thought you would go with that, to be honest with you. I realistically thought you would go 0-17. You wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, that is our all 32 teams predicted from top to bottom. All 32 have been predicted. Win-loss records for the season. I will chop this up and make it a video and have it out probably on Wednesday. Because we have other things to get to in this live stream. Including our next topic. Holy shit. The NFL to college football. Now, I'm reading this properly. The NFL, meaning professional football players in the National Football League, to college football, meaning kids from 18 to 24 that go from high school to college. Rodney, I'm going to let you go first here. What the hell? How did this happen? And how do we now fix this mess that college football's made?
Truthfully, I don't even know if there's a way to fix it.
Yeah.
Besides not doing it at all. Because this is not the NBA. It's not the NBA. Where like someone can go to the NBA after one college season. It's not the same. And if you put a 20-year-old in the NFL, he's going to get destroyed. This is a game of grown men, not little
Well,
boys.
that's not what's happening. What's happening is professional football players who are on NFL contracts right now, who some have played in preseason games, because of the new 5-for-5 rule, which is allowing a college kid to go from red shirt, they don't have to red shirt anymore to get a fifth year of eligibility. They can just have 5 years. Now I do believe there was a tight end that played on the Browns, got cut today. If he clears waivers, he'll be a free agent, and he already has a deal in place to sign with LSU and Lane Kiffin. He was at Ole Miss last year with Lane Kiffin. And there's several others that are now making the jump, including Thomas Castellanos. I don't think I said his name right, but y'all know who I'm talking about. The former Florida State quarterback, who is now in the transfer portal, which I didn't even know he still had a transfer portal. I thought that was over. I thought that happened after the season. It was like a 3-week window, and then it was done. But apparently not. And it looks like he's going to go to Texas Tech. Obviously, they need a quarterback because Brendan Thorsby's not allowed to play. And that's not because of the NCAA, or it's not because the judge ruled proper in that case. It's because the school and Thorsby was like, you know what? This is too loud. It's too much noise. I'm going to just walk away.
I think this is a stupid thing. I think this is stupid.
Here's my thing with it. I understand NFL guys don't make as much as college guys if you're on a practice squad. I get it. League minimum for the NFL, rookie league minimum, is not as much as a player can make in college football right now. So there is some incentive to go back. What I hate is we are a week away from kickoff of college football season. Think about all these players that have put in the work all summer, all fall camp, all spring to earn a spot on the team, to earn the scholarship. Now they may not only lose their starting position, but there may be guys on the lower end of the depth chart that lose their scholarships and get removed from the team to create a roster spot, because college football can only have so many roster spots. Like the NFL can only have 53 men. College football, I think, can only have like 75 or something like that. It's a higher number, but you can only have so many. That now they're going to school, but their scholarships revoked, so they're financially in a burden with their families. And also, all the high school kids, what is this going to do for recruiting in high school? These juniors and seniors that commit to these schools, by the time they get there, their spot may be taken by an NFL player? I don't understand what we're doing in college football anymore.
That's literally my answer, because what the heck at NCAA? Like,
well, here's the thing. It's not the NCAA. It was a judge in Louisiana that ruled in favor of 16 players that are now eligible for the 5-for-5 rule because they were part of the 2022 recruiting class that went pro because they didn't get their 5th year of eligibility because they didn't know this rule was going to exist. Well, if you went pro before the rule existed, then you need to stay pro. You don't get to go back and say, well, we didn't know this was going to be a rule, and now that it is, we want in. That's not how this works. You signed an NFL contract. You went to a combine, or you went to a pro day. You worked out for an NFL team. Jack Pyburn's on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now. Now, of course, this only matters if an NFL team releases you from your contract and you're not claimed on waivers or signed to a practice squad. But now you don't have to sign to the practice squad because a college team can go, hey, you got released from, let's just throw one out there, Pavia. Now, he can't do it because he's already gotten his 5th year and all that stuff. But let's say he could. Pavia, They call up, hey, man, I know you got released from the Ravens. You want to come back? Now, I have seen where they can't go back to the school that they played for last year. They have to enter the transfer portal. It's still stupid. That would be like that'd be like a kid that's a senior in high school. He gets hurt his senior year. And he goes to college, but then there's this new rule that, hey, you can actually get a 5th year of eligibility in high school because you didn't play your senior year. You only get 4 years of high school unless you fail. And if you fail, you're not on the football team because you have to maintain a grade point average to be on there. And depending on the school, it's pretty high.
Yep.
Like, that's what this is, man. Like, this is... Here's the thing, and I'm going to throw it back to last year because you brought up the NBA thing. The kid that came back for Alabama last year, that played for Alabama, that was in the G League, and he moved back to college to play college basketball for Alabama. I'm an Alabama fan. I was not in favor of that because I thought it was a stupid rule. You signed a contract with an NBA team. You're on the G League. You deal with it. You made that decision to sign that contract. You made that decision to stay. Just be like, okay, how many years didn't Shedeur only get 4 years?
Yeah, he did 2 at Jackson State, and then he did 2 at
Colorado.
So
let's say that Shedeur is like, this 5 for 5 thing's pretty cool. Let's say for some reason Deshaun Watson beats him out. He's like, I can go make more money playing college football again. I'm going to go do that. Like, that'd be the same thing, bro. Like, he's an NFL player on an NFL roster.
With an NFL contract.
Yeah, and again, this only matters if the team releases or cuts you and you don't get claimed off waivers or you don't sign with a practice squad. But you don't have to sign with a practice squad now. And there's only, man, they've already said it only maintains to the 2022 class. Because there's already been talks about, like, guys like Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson that didn't go 5 years coming back. Well, first of all, they're multimillionaires.
Right.
They're on their second contract, so they're not coming back. And secondly, they made it clear it maintained only to the 2022 recruiting class. I still think it's stupid.
I agree.
Like, this rule didn't exist when the combine happened. And this rule didn't exist when the draft happened. Okay. But you still submitted your name to the NFL to be drafted. You don't get to change it now. You still there, Rodney?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, man. I was making sure because I lost the video. I just want to make sure you were still there. Like, I don't understand that decision. I really don't. But, Rodney, any last thoughts here as we get out of here for the night and look forward to college football season, man, which I'm very excited about?
So I will say for me, the biggest question that I will have is, will the SEC come back this year and reclaim the national championship?
Alabama will. Keelan Russell taking us to the Natty 12-0, then 16-0. Fuck everybody else. It's Bama, baby.
Anyways, because ever since, I think the last team to win the national championship, that was the SEC, I think was 2021 or 2022 was Georgia.
Georgia, and I think they did it in 2022, yeah.
Because in
TCU.
Because 2023 you had Michigan. Then 2024 you had Ohio State, and then this previous year you had Indiana. So that's 3 years in a row of the SEC not winning the national championship. Then, because growing up in the 21st century, who's been the conference that has won the national championship? It's always been SEC. You had teams like LSU. You had Auburn 1 year. You have always had Alabama all these years under Nick Saban. So Is this the chance for the SEC to reclaim the national championship? Could this be the year? I mean, you got teams like Alabama, you have teams like LSU, you have Texas, Hook 'em, you got these different teams in the SEC that could compete for a national championship. So the question is, can the SEC go back to reclaim the national championship? Because you still have Ohio State, you still have the reigning champs, Indiana. You have Miami. You have all these other teams outside the SEC that will be in national championship contention. So that's going to be my question going into this next college season. So I really don't know what's going to happen, but my eyes are going to be on the SEC this year and to see if they can reclaim back the national championship after not winning these last 3 years.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. Like, the SEC, in my opinion, they have to win it this year. Yo, shout out Herb and Raj podcast. I know exactly who that is. That is Herb in the chat. Herb, you missed the first 2 hours of the show, man. We broke down all 32 NFL teams' schedules and broke down their record, man. It was fun. Rodney had the biggest bold take of them all. He has the Los Angeles Rams going 17-0, undefeated. And we just got into the college football stuff. Also, shout out to this guy, Raul Havana, I think. If I butchered your name, I am so sorry. He says the Saints need Greg Williams back. Shout out to those guys for joining. Herb, obviously, man, we love you over here. Hey, by the way, Herb and Raj podcast got to 1,000 subscribers. Round of applause for them. That's a big deal. It's hard to do. I'm still trying to do it. We're still trying to do it here. Hopefully it happens this football season. I don't want to fully speak for Rodney, but I think it is safe to say that he will be joining me throughout the football season to do NFL and college. I think we're back. We are back. We've had a long layoff where we didn't do videos, we didn't do podcasts. I think we're back, man. And it was that first hour and 40-something minutes. I didn't realize how long that would take until we got to Team 16, and we're an hour in, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, we're halfway through, and we still feel like we're a mile away. But, guys, make sure to like this video, share it to your friends, share it on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you get your podcast. I will be posting this on Spotify tomorrow in the morning. Also, guys, I will be clipping the predictions into a video to make it a separate video of its own. Rodney, as always, man, I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being on. And, guys, go make sure to go to elephant-inc.store for official Nick Beasley Show merch. Again, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It supports us. It's 100% free. You don't have to pay for it. Have some fun with it. Again, shout out to everybody that joined. Rodney, shout out to you, man, for being here, for working with me. This was a fun one, man. I didn't know what to expect with the record predictions and then us getting into the other stuff. But, hey, we had fun with it. Mm-hmm. We did kind of cover the Browns quarterback competition. We believe Shedeur should be the starter.
Yes.
We did not get into the Falcons QB competition, but we'll get into that probably right before the season starts. We'll do a video on that, discussing their situation. We did kind of talk about when we thought Mendoza and Beck would play when we did the schedule predictions. But again, guys, thank y'all. We love y'all. Make sure to like and subscribe. And make sure, guys, to go over to RJK Forever on YouTube and subscribe to him. He's killing it with content. Make sure to follow him on TikTok as well. I believe it is still RJK Forever on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure to give him a follow on Instagram as well. I believe it's RJK Forever 4.
RJK underscore forever 2.
Okay, on Instagram. Okay.
Yes.
I just know the RJK Forever part by heart. The rest of it's kind of.
Yeah.
But guys, make sure to go give him a follow on there. He's killing it with some acting stuff and some sports content. So go make sure to follow him on there. And again, guys, we will be here. We'll be back of probably. We'll talk about what day next week. We'll be back next week before. We'll be back this week before week 0 of college football to talk about college football games coming up and possibly maybe we're making some predictions on those games. We'll see what happens. But guys, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow Rodney on all of his platforms, follow me at Nick Beasley Show on everything. Love y'all. Thank y'all. Bye.